7 mistakes men make in relationships and how to avoid them. Let's be honest, relationships can be complicated. In the beginning, everything feels effortless. You like her, she likes you, spend time together, laugh, and enjoy every moment. But somewhere along the way, things start to change. Her messages become less enthusiastic, affectionate moments grow rarer, and you find yourself wondering, what did I do wrong? The truth is, men often make mistakes without even realizing it, not because they don't care, but simply because they haven't been taught to recognize the subtle signals that can mean the difference between a thriving relationship and one that's starting to fall apart. You don't need to be a psychology expert to build a great relationship, but you do need to be aware of a few key things. So, let's dive into the most common mistakes men make in relationships, and more importantly, how to avoid them. That way, you can build a genuine connection without unnecessary frustration. Number 1. You're not really listening? Have you ever been in a conversation with your partner and while she was speaking, you were already preparing your response in your mind? Or, worse, maybe you nodded, said, uh-huh, but in reality, you weren't really hearing what she was saying? If so, you're not alone. One of the biggest mistakes men make in relationships is not truly listening. And this isn't just about hearing words, it's about understanding the emotions behind them. Women can sense immediately when you're not fully present in a conversation. If your partner is sharing a work problem or something that's bothering her, and you respond mechanically or jump straight to offering a solution instead of empathizing, chances are she'll feel unheard. How to avoid this mistake? Be present, put your phone down, make eye contact, and focus on what she's saying. Don't always try to fix the problem. Sometimes she doesn't want a solution. She just wants to be heard and understood. Instead of jumping in with advice, try saying, I see, that sounds really tough. How can I support you? Reflect on what she says. Instead of responding on autopilot, try rephrasing. So, what upset you the most was that this shows her that you were truly listening and that you care. Number 2, you lose your identity in the relationship. Have you ever seen men completely alter their lifestyle once they enter a relationship? They give up their hobbies, stop spending time with friends, and gradually lose their individuality, becoming merely someone's boyfriend. While this might seem like a romantic gesture at first, always being available and prioritizing the relationship, it can eventually backfire. Why? Because true attraction thrives on individuality. The qualities that made you interesting in the first place are the same ones that keep the spark alive. If you sacrifice everything that defines you just to fit into the relationship, you risk becoming predictable and, ultimately, uninteresting. How to avoid this mistake? Keep your passions alive. If you loved playing soccer, hitting the gym, or experimenting with new recipes, don't give up on those things just because you're in a relationship. Be the man who stays motivated and engaged in his interests. Time apart is healthy. You don't have to spend every waking moment together. A healthy relationship includes moments where each of you has your own space. Be emotionally independent. Your partner shouldn't be your only source of happiness. If your entire identity revolves around the relationship, you become dependent, and that puts pressure on both of you. Number 3, you're too available. It's great to be a thoughtful and engaged partner, but be careful not to fall into the trap of being overly available. If you immediately jump at every message, cancel your plans for her, or are always on call for anything she needs, you risk appearing too predictable and, eventually, less attractive. Women are drawn to men who have their own priorities and goals, not to those who are always at their disposal, like a 24/7 service. Paradoxically, when you're too available, you lose value, and her interest may start to fade. How to avoid this mistake? Respect your own time. Got plans? Stick to them. Don't cancel a night out with friends just because she texted that she's bored. Don't respond instantly to every message. This doesn't mean playing silly games, but it's healthy not to always be on the line. You have your own life too. Be present but not suffocating. Show her you care, but keep a balance. Mystery and independence are key to maintaining attraction. Number 4, too much flattery. Compliments can be a powerful tool in a relationship, but they should be used in moderation. If you constantly tell her how beautiful she is, or how wonderful you think she is, you risk making her feel that you appreciate her only for her appearance, not for who she truly is. Instead of focusing solely on her physical beauty, try appreciating other qualities, her intelligence, sense of humor, how she treats her friends, or her passions. Additionally, constant flattery can come across as an attempt to buy her affection. If you expect her to be always thrilled by every compliment, this behavior may become predictable and uninteresting. Women value sincerity and authenticity more than a stream of sweet words that feel forced. How to avoid this mistake? Be authentic. Compliments are valuable when they are sincere. If you notice something you like about her, tell her, but don't do it just to flatter her or impress her. Appreciate her inner qualities. Instead of focusing exclusively on her physical appearance, admire her attitude, charisma, intelligence, and how she makes you feel. Don't overdo the compliments. If you always tell her how beautiful she is, she might start thinking that's all she is. Instead, find out what she's passionate about and compliment her passions or the way she balances her personal and professional life. Number 5, lack of authenticity. Nothing is harder to sense than when someone is being inauthentic, trying to be someone you're not. Whether you're trying to appear more interesting than you are or exaggerating traits that don't define your personality, can create a distance between you and the woman you want in your life. This facade you're building can be quickly detected by a woman with even a basic level of emotional intelligence, and that feeling of falseness will make every conversation feel like a minefield of insecurity. We all have imperfections, and nothing is more attractive than embracing who you truly are, with all your strengths and flaws. When you try to hide parts of your personality or play a role to impress, you're only undermining your chances. Women can quickly sense the difference between someone who is comfortable in their own skin and someone struggling to maintain an image. How to avoid this mistake? Be yourself. Don't try to be someone you're not. There's nothing more attractive than someone who is comfortable in their own skin. Don't be afraid to be vulnerable. Show your less than perfect sides. Vulnerability is often perceived as a sign of trustworthiness and can create a much more authentic connection. Don't focus on image. If you focus too much on how you look or how you're perceived, you're more concerned with what others think than how you truly feel. Be relaxed and natural. Number 6, lack of clear communication. One of the most common obstacles in a relationship is poor communication. Whether it's avoiding important conversations or simply misunderstandings that can escalate, when you don't clearly express your intentions, feelings, and desires, it's easy to create confusion. Women appreciate men who can communicate openly and honestly about what they feel and what they want, and this is crucial for building an authentic connection. It's easy to rely on assumptions or avoid tough discussions, but this behavior can harm your relationship. Women want a partner who is capable of listening to them, but also one who can express their own thoughts without leaving room for ambiguity. Clear communication doesn't just mean speaking openly. It also means knowing when to listen and how to show empathy for what the other person is feeling. How to avoid this mistake? Listen actively. Before responding, make sure you truly understand what your partner is saying. This means being present and not preparing your response while she is talking. Be open to discussions. Even when topics are sensitive or may lead to conflicts, don't avoid bringing them up. Ignoring certain issues just to avoid a fight is not a long-term solution. Clear and direct expressions. Avoid ambiguity or hints. If you want something, say it clearly. Women aren't mind readers, and indirect responses don't help build an honest relationship. Number 7, lack of emotional involvement. Sometimes in a relationship, men may seem too reserved or emotionally distant. This attitude can be interpreted by women as a lack of interest or commitment to the relationship. Women desire a partner who is present not only physically, but also emotionally. Someone who shares important moments, shows empathy, and is willing to express their vulnerabilities. Lack of emotional involvement can lead to feelings of isolation, even within a relationship. When a man is unwilling to express his feelings or actively participate in developing an emotional bond, the relationship can become superficial, and over time, it may break down due to the unmet need for intimacy and genuine connection. How to avoid this mistake? Be open and vulnerable. Don't be afraid to share your thoughts, fears, and feelings with your partner. Women appreciate a man who is willing to show his vulnerabilities because it creates a deeper connection. Show empathy. Be present during tough times. Sometimes it's not about words, but a hug, a smile, or a word of encouragement. Women appreciate a partner who can understand and support them in difficult moments. Get involved in important moments. Be active in your partner's life. Don't wait to be asked to support or get involved. Be the one who shows interest in the things that matter to her. Mistakes are part of every relationship, and what truly makes them meaningful is how we approach them and learn from them. Every wrong step, every misunderstanding, or every wrong silence is an opportunity to grow. We shouldn't expect perfection, but rather a continuous openness to learn, to grow together with the person we've chosen to be with. Relationships are not a road without obstacles, but a path where we support each other, learning how to be better, more attentive, and more understanding.